Did somebody just give you an orchid for Christmas and you're terrified that you're going to kill yet another orchid? Well, stay tuned for today's video because today I'm going to show you, actually we're going to do a whole series this month on how not to kill an orchid. How it's going to be a total tutorial how to assess your orchid, how to pot it in the correct medium, how to water it, and set yourself up for success so that your orchid reblooms the following year and you don't have to throw it out. You are not an orchid killer. Trust me. Here's why you can trust me. I have a whole plant collection and I started with orchids, so I am the best person to teach you on how not to kill your orchid collection. Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm the owner of the Rare Plant House, I'm a certified licensed nursery grower and dealer. And I specialize in orchids, Hoyas, and tropical aroids. So we're gonna put our focus on orchids and teach you you cannot kill your orchid that someone will probably get for you this holiday season. So let's get into the video. I'm so excited filming. And we are looking at two orchids that you will likely get for Christmas. These are the most common orchids that someone will probably pick up and give you, or maybe you will bring it home for yourself. You can get these kinds of orchids. They're commonly known as the moth orchid. Uh, their technical name is a Phalaenopsis orchid. This one had yellow flowers. This one, I cut the flower spikes on it, but I will put footage up for you on the screen of what it did look like when it was in bloom. And we're going to focus on the reason I'm showing you both of these is this is a bigger version, a bigger Phalaenopsis version, or a moth orchid is the common name. And then this is the miniature version. So you might get a big one like this, or you might get a little one like this. And they're both Phalaenopsis orchids, but one is a mini in size and the other one is a larger version of the same orchid. So we're gonna focus because this is like this Phalaenopsis orchid here is the perfect example to focus on because her flower spike is starting to fade, and that's when most people think that they've killed their orchid, is when the flowers start to go, and that's not true. So you can see that what you're gonna get when you get a flower from like a grocery store, whoops, and you can see the reason I'm showing you this orchid is because we're gonna talk about how to take care of it and set it up so that it can bloom for the next season. So the flowers on this orchid, I want to say this orchid started to spike meaning it grew its flower spike maybe in like October. I'll check the date and put it on the screen. And it's been in bloom for a couple months, so these orchids can stay in bloom for a few months. This one has grown flower spikes, I believe, twice this year, so that's exciting. Sometimes these kinds of orchids bloom once a year, sometimes they bloom twice a year. Usually this one has been the spring and the fall. There's a temperature drop in like outside in nature, in this case in my house in spring. Like the temperature falls at night a little bit because we keep it cooler downstairs, and that's what actually induces the flower spike on a Phalaenopsis orchid, is the drop in the temperature. So this is what we are dealing with. An orchid, it's still got like one, let me see that, yeah, one bud. Yeah, so let's talk about what to do. So you've got your orchid. Some of the flowers have faded, and it's pretty easy. You can see this one has faded. It's not crispy yet. Some of this one is a crispy bud, so you can pull them off as they do fade, but you did not cause the buds to fade. The whole point of You Are Not an Orchid Killer is you didn't kill this orchid. This orchid is not dead. It will rebloom. People think that because the orchid flowers start to fade, then their orchid is dead, but that's not true. So we're going to actually just do something very, very easy and basic. We're going to cut the flower spike, and I'll show you where to cut, and I'll show you some other cuts that I've made on this orchid. I could enjoy this for a little longer because it does have some flowers and it does have a bud, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna not chop it, I'm gonna cut the flower spike right at the base of the plant. So let me use my tweezers here just to show you, right there. So right at the base of the plant. And you could just leave the flower spike on if you're afraid to cut it. Nothing bad will happen to your orchid if you do that. But if you leave the flower spike on it, it'll just dry out, but it won't affect the plant. You're going to want to remove your, if your flower spike is staked, remove any clips that it came with I recommend before you cut the orchid. If it came with any kind of a stake, like this, like I just put with a bamboo stake, just as an example. When you see footage on the screen, the orchid will look like this because that's how I had it growing. I had it growing in a more pendant-like shape, but you could definitely train your flower spike to grow up. So we're gonna cut the spike just for purposes. We're gonna cut right at the base of the spike. We're not gonna cut the plant. We're just gonna cut right here at the base. So 3, make sure I get in there right. 3, 2, 1, cut. So that's what I'm left with. And then this is like where people go wrong. They're like, okay, if you didn't cut your flower spike and it did dry out, people think that the orchid is dead, and it's not dead. It's growing new structures, which is the cool part. Orchids are slow growers, so I may not see another spike on this flower, another spike on the orchid starting probably until spring, but I'm okay with waiting. Okay, so we cut the spike right there, and you can see it's got a little bit of green at the tip, but that'll eventually dry out. And let me show you. There are 2 more that I've cut. So, and they are dried out. So that's what a flower spike will look like when it's dried out. Just to show you, there and there were where I took previous cuts of the flower spike. So the flower spike starts at the originals were at the bottom of the plant, and then they grow on the side on the axis here as the plant matures. So, and you can see it from one side, and you can also see the cut I just took right there. So this will dry out eventually, and it will look like that. So it'll be just a dried out piece of the plant, but it doesn't affect the plant. It's not going to kill it. So this plant is still alive even though it's no longer in flower because I cut the flower spike. So, hi, I'm back. Thanks for joining me for the first part of this tutorial on You Are Not an Orchid Killer, and we covered the name of the orchid, the Phalaenopsis, or the moth orchid is the common name for it. We covered how to unstake it, remove any tags, know that your Your orchid is not dead just because the flowers start to fade, and we covered how to cut the flower spike at the base. So that's step one. I'm going to be releasing this in a series all through December, so it'll be in bite-sized chunks, and then I'll put this whole series into a playlist on my YouTube channel. That way you can watch the whole series, hopefully by January, when you do have your orchid and it's in flower and you're enjoying it, and then the flowers start to fall off and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? You can come here to this channel and you can watch this entire series. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. If you have a friend that got an orchid for Christmas and they don't know what to do with it, please share this video with them. If you find value in it, they'll definitely find value in it too. Yeah, and if you want to check out more plants, you can check me out at therareplanthouse.com, and I'll put the link to my plant shop in the description box below. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Bye!